Hello, and welcome back to Oolykee Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. And today we're going to be focusing on auto build and everything related to that. Okay, so first of all, heads up, I will be addressing some of the issues. I know a lot of you guys are disappointed with auto build and whatever. I will Stats is the person. Stats, you can see his comments in the videos. He's always leaving a lot of comments, and positive, negative, whatever he thinks, feels. It's really respectable. And I really respect him. He did contribute enormous amount of information, his experiences, all of that, not to me, to all of us. If you read his comments and if you watch my videos, he contributed so much to my opinion and changes of it. It's just, I have nothing but respect for him. And also with this auto build that we used in the last episode concerning I don't even remember exactly what we built. We built these cables. We built the transformer station, and I think that would be about it. I might be missing something, but that's fine. First of all, I would like to say that I know that BC74SJ is just rattling my cage, even though he's not really successful in it. I'm not really easily angered by anything, and I know he's saying this is not hard mode challenge and stuff like that. I just wanted to say, make it clear, this is not a hard mode challenge. This is not cosmonaut mode. This is not. I don't even want to call it Oolykee type of challenge. It's just a guy pressing a record button while playing this freaking game, and this is all this is. I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to share my knowledge, I'm trying to be a little bit entertaining, but if it's at all stressful watching this channel, watching these videos, you really shouldn't do that, guys. I'm probably being counterproductive here, telling you not to watch the channel, but I wouldn't want anybody to be stressed or disappointed into whatever I do in these videos. So just that, like, if you are stressed by this, you shouldn't be, definitely. I wish you all the best to all of you guys, and definitely don't follow me if I'm causing you stress or anything negative like that. So, right, that being said, absolutely I have... What the hell is this? Why is this different? Anyway, so I wanted to address a couple of issues with auto build. What is my opinion with auto build and current opinion? Of course, I'm always flexible. I'm like a... I don't want to say sponge. I'm quite flexible. Octopus, something like that. Squishy toy or something like squishy ball. I'm flexible and change my opinion all the time. A lot of people, even BC74SJ, Stats, Old Gala, all of you guys, Julian Renard, C Tom, all of you guys, like you contributed to who I am now as person, who my playstyle, all of you. Your advice changed my opinion all the time. Currently, even though we had a heated discussions about realism of this game, currently my belief is that auto build is realistic. Now, let me... I don't want to put this as a case because I'm not the perfect person to defend auto build by any means necessary. Julian is much better. If you read his comments under Julian Renard, if you read his comments under my videos, he is quite sensible guy, and I appreciate his opinion, and I think he's right to he's right about this kind of stuff. So, auto build. I'm gonna ask you now, I wanted to Google this to make a little bit better and straightforward point, but who is building the Turkey's nuclear power plant? Rarely, if any, high-end jobs in building that nuclear power plant is done by Turkish people. Most of the engineers and people leading the projects are Russians, and they are still building a Turkish nuclear power plant. I think it's the same thing in Hungary that's happening as now. I think Hungary is building. If I'm wrong, I'm betting that this is not Hungarian nuclear agency building nuclear power plants in Hungary. They are outsourcing workforce. They're outsourcing. They're just paying for this project. I want to address a couple of issues because Stats actually had good questions, and I listed them here. I will try to answer all of them as much as I can, and hopefully you're gonna see my point in this case. So, outsourcing the projects is quite a realistic thing, and countries do it now. They did it in history. Here's an interesting fact for you guys. Did you ever hear about Cuban nuclear power plant? Google it. It's actually quite interesting. Check it out. What actually it is. Okay, so going back to Stats and his questions concerning this, I wanted to address these the most. How do you get workers to come from the border? Well, you pay workers to come here. How do they get from the border? They use their own cars, they use their own buses. Why they're not visible here? I don't know. Maybe we should ask developers about this, because I believe if we are only missing the visible part of these trucks coming or cars coming into the country, fine. We're missing that. That should be implemented in the game. Whenever you do auto build, you should have heavier traffic around the border, but that's probably going to be bus going one way from the border to the construction site, bringing the workers. One bus, two bus, hundreds of buses. The second thing, with which buses? Well, obviously their own, because they are bringing their own people. I have an example. For example, in Croatia there are two big projects happening. There's some kind of high-speed railway towards Hungary, and Turkish company is building this, and Turkish workers are going to be working on this. Everything is outsourced to Turkish workers, and they will be sleeping on a construction site in the makeshift barracks or whatever, container accommodation and stuff like that. Where is that in the game? Again, I would ask the developers about this. Why isn't there, when we are paying for something to be built, why isn't there a couple of, like, imported, like auto build, why isn't there a container house next to the construction site that will simulate that people, workers, sleep there that are coming into our country? That would be quite nice thing. I think we should definitely suggest that to our developers. Going forward, which petrol stations will they use with the buses? Well, most of the project, this country, I think there's a measurement to how big this country is. I think it's 5 times 5 kilometers, and I bet a lot of trucks can go from border crossing to the middle of the map, how far probably they would travel without refueling, or they can bring their own fuel. I don't mind that, but again, we are going back to visible vehicles that we can see on the map. Which tankers will supply these stations? Obviously, this is not relevant, because they're tanking the fuel from the outside of the country. It's not our problem. We're paying them to do the job, and how the job is done, it's not up to us. The visual thing about barracks being next to the construction site and the actual bus coming from the border, I agree, that should definitely be there, but this is not unrealistic. Yeah, I forgot about this one. I'll deal with that later. In which barracks are they going to go house them? Yes, again, I mentioned the barracks should be next to the construction site. When you pay for something to be built by immigrant workers, I think next to the construction site you should have barracks where the workers are going to stay while they're building this. What are you going to feed them with? I don't care. They can be acting like tourists and pay for food in our shops, or they can have their own company delivering their own stuff. I believe a lot of construction work that was done in, let's say, post-war Iraq, that American company actually imported their own McDonald's foods and brought their own food and not used the locals for, building even their bases or whatever. But I don't think it's so strange to have workers have their company deliver their food. A good example is, for example, Norilsk. It's not a foreign country, it's in the same city of Norilsk, but the Norilsk Nickel is the company that is supplying absolutely everything in that city, including electricity. So companies do take care of their own workers. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would I would say that living in Norilsk is actually taking care of your own people, but anyway, Norilsk. We have what logistics will you use to transport them and support them for the duration of the construction? Again, I'm paying for this. If they're gonna sleep on the construction site or anything like that, that should be there. Yeah, visually it should be buses, couple of buses coming from the border, coming to a construction site and finishing it. That would be absolutely perfect. But again, this is a game mechanic, I believe, that should be implemented by the developers in the game. When you have actually automatic construction, that you should see trucks coming from the border, setting up their container where they're gonna sleep for the duration of the building of the construction. And definitely 100% it shouldn't be so fast, the finishing of a construction. How to accept to save months or years with the construction done in 1 second? Absolutely unrealistic. None of the construction should be done that fast. It doesn't matter if you bring absolutely every worker required for this, that there are thousands and thousands of workers building for, let's say, tunnel or something like that. This is unrealistic. The only explanation I can have is this is a game. Period. This is just a game, and we shouldn't take it that seriously. But outsourcing construction is definitely something that happens in the real life often. And Do you need workers urgently to finish a construction? In this case, no, you don't. A lot of companies outsource their workers not because they need foreign workers to do it. It's just because it's cheaper. I mean, like in the European Union, you have Chinese companies winning the competition for doing constructions just because they are more affordable than the local companies. Maybe expertise. Maybe you're hiring a company that's been constructing bridges or something specific for a long period of time, and they're much better workers than we have in our own country. They would do it much more efficiently, better, and more often than not, even cheaper than our own construction. I don't think that outsourcing your workers is any like. I want to do it without doing it, but I'm going to go to the second part of this story now. There's a whole comment here I would like to say. Also, the Stats gave extremely good advice here. He said, yeah, if you wanted more workers, we should have stopped delivering workers to the farms and elsewhere, so we would have more workers on our bus stops, and then our construction companies would deliver these workers much faster to the construction sites that I wanted. The problem with this is, we're going to the second part. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not. First, I want to say that I'm a guy who presses a record button, talks a whole bunch of gibberish about this game and personal stuff and some other stuff. I don't know. I don't even find it that therapeutic or something. Some people would say, "Oh, I'm doing this because it's therapeutic." No, I'm doing this just because I wanted to learn a little bit more about this game, about games in general, about a little bit about sound and video editing. Not too much. I'm not really impressed by my skills, or I'm not going in that way, and I'm horrible at it. I try my best to do so. I noticed a couple of things, and you tell me, guys, how many of people you watch on YouTube. I don't want to say YouTubers because I don't consider myself that. How many of them have series of hundreds or 200s or 300 episodes on a single map? I did it once with Canvo Republic, 150 episodes, and that is 5 months flat, me playing a single map, recording it, and enjoying it. I don't want to do that again. It's not interesting for me. It's not going to be interesting for you guys. It's going to be few of you that's going to enjoy this, but and going to be disappointed if we move on. But if we don't do enough, if we stop this series at episode 30, bear in mind that this is episode 23. If you stop it in episode 30, you're going to say we didn't do anything. Now, in your personal lives, you guys can play for 4 or 5 hours a day. I cannot play 4 or 5 hours a day and make these long videos. Nobody would watch that. In your real life, you can play these long episodes, but making a videos this long, it's much more complicated. In the end of the series, if I try to make this half a year long, 180 episode, I will have 2 views on these videos. I don't care about the views. It's the most important thing here is how I feel. If I feel okay with playing this. If this becomes a burden to me, that something that I don't want to do, it's gonna become burden for you too, guys, because you're not gonna enjoy somebody not enjoying playing this game and just playing it for the sake of it. I would like to enjoy everything that I do, and this was the only reason why I acting like I'm just pressing a record button, while actually I do wanted to share some ideas. I want to be proven wrong. I want to learn something, and I believe I'm selling this, that this is the only way, the only reason why I have this YouTube channel is just to have, like, a little bit more entertainment and to learn some other things. That being said, if I continued without this automatic building thing here, it would take a little bit longer. Now we're at episode 23. I'm not planning to have the episode 150 here on the Alaska map. I want to see how this map looks like. I want to develop new towns. But like I said, accommodating 2 or 3 people for 6 months or 180 episodes that are going to be watching this series without even me enjoying this, I think that's unrealistic. So we would have to have a speedier development, and creating a Statsovo here and populating it fully with people, so we can start on Iron City and our fishing town over here. as fast as possible. I believe this is a sacrifice that I and us watching these videos will have to take in order to explore the rest of the map, because trust me 100%, I will not be making 180 episodes of Alaska map. It's gonna have to be much faster. The only way I can see this going much faster is me being smarter, and that's definitely not a thing, or speeding up construction like I did here. Now this is gonna give us enormous amount of benefits, where we're gonna start straight away expanding, growing faster, having more problems, and seeing game from the different angle, where we now have 2 towns that we can focus on, and not building one mega city in the middle. Now this is my opinion on that. I totally disagree with a couple of things. Auto build is not cheating. Auto build should take a little bit longer to build, and auto build should be accommodated by developers, not us, by showing you where exactly workers are gonna sleep, how they're coming from the border to the actual construction site, and them finishing this not in mere seconds or days for extremely big buildings, but actually building it in a realistic time manner. But if you're hiring experts, will be definitely quicker than a couple of us who are not experts in building a steel mill. How long it's gonna take us? We can build it, but it's gonna be mistakes. It's gonna take longer. But if you hire steel mill building experts, they're definitely gonna do it in shorter period of time. My little hometown had an expansion, sugar refinery expansion, with a huge, enormous silo. They hired A to Z all Hungarian workers because they were experts in building huge silos for sugar storage, and everything was fine. Over my little Croatian hometown, there was a Hungarian flag flying from the tower. It was really nice sight to see. They were amazing people, but this is how things were done then. It of course didn't take few seconds to build, but this is the problem with auto build, and developers should definitely address this to be a little bit more difficult, this auto build, that it doesn't take mere seconds. But a lot of people will probably complain about this in the beginning of the game, because they won't be able to set up their initial start city within days or seconds. It's gonna take a much longer time, so I can definitely see negativity about this. One last thing I would like to say about the auto purchase or auto build would be an auto purchase point of view. For example, put yourself in the shoes of one shopkeeper. Even in communism, doesn't really matter, and let's say that we don't have these trucks delivering stuff, that we have auto purchase. If you're a shopkeeper, you order your food that needs to be delivered next day, next weekend, or whatever, but you expect it on that specific date. In this game, this is exactly when you press this button over here, this is when you expect that food to be there. So technically you're planning it in before, so technically we should be planning this in the future. So if you're a shopkeeper, you don't care about the logistics behind delivery of this food. If you're gonna see the trucks, no, it's just pallets of food suddenly magically appear in front of your shop after several days of waiting for this food. Again, the game mechanics should definitely accommodate those trucks to be visible, to use your infrastructure to create traffic issues, but it doesn't change the fact that those trucks, from your as a shopkeeper point of view, they don't exist. They are not bothering you. They're not causing you any traffic issues. They just magically appear next to your shop with the newspapers, with the milk, bread, and all that other stuff. So how the logistics work in real life, I believe that there is no reason that purchasing your auto purchasing in the stores is perfectly legit thing to do. When you're making YouTube videos, of course, exporting gravel for 65 years might be fun in your personal life, but not when you're making YouTube videos. Like I said, it might be interesting for a couple of people, but definitely not guy who makes YouTube videos or most of the people that want to watch those videos. So this is sometimes I will be using in the videos auto build, and unfortunately this is, as a Star Trek fan, this is the order of things. I think Jem Hadar or whoever said that. This is just the order of things, how you need the issues that you have to make your videos interesting. Because if you guys lose interest in my channel, even if I lose viewers because of this, I understand. this is the order of things. This is how it needs to be done. I would urge any of you guys, if you can, try to make your own YouTube channel and see how interested people will be in the extremely long playthroughs that will last for hundreds and hundreds of hour-long episodes, and how interested you will be in that. Anyway, I think I'm not, and final thing I wanted to say, I'm not earning almost any money from this. I will make a video about how a person who uploads videos on YouTube with 1,700 viewers and mere hundreds of views per episode, how much money you can actually earn from YouTube. I expect this video in near future. I want to disclose about all of this, how actually worthless this is compared to how much I invested in software and other things. But this is, like I said, this is my hobby, and this is what I would like to consider it as, not as a job or a chore or to do whatever I'm told. I just want to do whatever makes me happy in this case, and I believe that most of you guys also, would like to see me happy rather than, get your way or the way you view how the game should be played. So sorry if this offends anybody. I really do apologize for that, but I will be continuing the way I think is the best way. I will change my mind often, especially people like Stats. They contributed enormously to my understanding of the game, tips and tricks and all this stuff, and I do appreciate that enormously. It's just some of the other things behind the scenes that need to be done to make this interesting for majority of people, and the most important thing, interesting for me. So hopefully this is an explanation. If any of you guys would like to unsubscribe from this, I'm perfectly fine with that. I had a few subscribers when I began as well. It's fine. I'll be fine. I have a day job, and I'm not sure that I'll ever be earning any money, serious money with YouTubing. So it's just something that keeps me happy, and I would like to keep it, as stress-free as possible. And my understanding that this is the way at the moment until I'm proven otherwise. I will definitely try to do hard mode challenges, cosmonaut challenges, all the palaces of Soviets anybody would like to see, but at the moment it's just what I would like to do, what I would like to play. And hopefully you guys understand that. If you do, press the like button. I'm assuming this is going to be a lot of dislike button, but button pressed, but that's perfectly fine. I appreciate everybody's opinion, and I don't get insulted fast or easily, so I like everybody's opinion here. So thank you guys for listening, and hope you're going to enjoy this episode a little bit less, because it's been over 20 minutes me yabbering about this, in my eyes, non-issue, but a lot of people that I respect also took it as an issue, so I just wanted to clear these things up. So hopefully you guys, even if this is the last video you're seeing, thank you for everything that you did for me, for other people watching this channel, and I really hope that we're gonna see each other in the future. If you're gonna continue watching these videos, then thank you again. It's really nice. Now probably we should start and actually do something around here. We do have a couple of projects that we need to finish as soon as possible. Heating plant is done. These pipes, we need 20 tons of steel over here to finish this, and we need to finish this before the winter. I'm kind of hoping that it's gonna be here. BC74SJ is already saying, why the hell would you want this finished by winter? Because these buildings, they're gonna heat themselves anyway. Actually, I don't even know if these guys are gonna heat themselves. Probably, most likely will, but I still like to spend coal and money on trying to make it as potentially realistic as possible. So let's go in that direction. We said last time that I'm gonna try to build a gym around here, and I still didn't do it. So let's try to do it right now. I'm gonna start construction on the gym, so we're gonna have some sports playgrounds, and I'm gonna try to do something different. Now we have these 60 school gyms. They only have 3 people working in there, and that's a problem. I know for a fact that they will not be adequate for us for the... I thought we can get something like 5-6 people working, maybe something like this, but like I said, this is a really bad place for a town. It's gonna be challenging to make this functional. So let's try to do a little bit of leveling around here. Let me see if I can squeeze it in next to a bus stop here, maybe even make a dead-end street, because I don't see a lot of stuff happening in the background here. So let's try to level this all the way, as much as we can, at least as much as is reasonably possible. And let's continue on with the series. Okay, some of the things that I mentioned in the me crying my eyes out while I was recording the first segment of this. Of course, I didn't. It's just, you know, every single one of us should take care of your own needs first before you go and take care of others. So for me, having this as least stressful, or finding this as a hobby and relaxation thing, making these videos, it's more important than, more important than not being happy or satisfied with what I'm doing. So in my eyes, this is at least what I consider it to be quite important. So I would like to stick to that, if that's okay with you guys. Kidding. Right, so I would like to continue with this as we're going. If I'm gonna have to buy something, I will buy something. You can easily go and see the last episode of the Canvas series if you want to be stressed by what I've been doing around here. That would be quite interesting for you guys to see. If you go and check out I was just plopping buildings around just to see what the population we can actually reach. It was quite unrealistic. Unfortunately, that wasn't fun for me, and I'm pretty sure that it wasn't fun for most of the people watching that, and this is what I would like to avoid for the future. And this is what, like, sometimes when you lose interest in your own series, where that can lead to. So check out the last episode of Canva Republic. That would be 150th episode. And I don't want to repeat that. I don't want to repeat that when I'm making these videos and then just talking some nonsense, even though I consider a lot of stuff that I'm talking is nonsense, but sometimes it actually makes some sense. You can see that we're finishing this railroad here, and I would like to, as soon as he finishes this railroad, I will be plonking a semaphore here, because I'm pretty sure that this guy over here should have lights, and he can't really get to the... Oh, actually they can. Oh, that's quite interesting. They can bypass each other. Yeah, I think the semaphores are only needed for, well, let's call it real trains, not these little things over here. So we have our steel mill finished. I would like to continue working on our iron town, because steel mills are done and we have nothing to feed them with. We can use some imports from the border again. This is going to increase our steel production, and this is something definitely I would like to do. But I think the most important thing is to have a plan how the railroad is going to go through here. You can see that this is going to be quite challenging, because I have a feeling that we are even increasing the height. Let's go a little bit lower. Can I do this? Can I go quite low here? Let's see. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, this is gonna be what 18 a.m. often says. This is gonna be quite interesting episode where Oolykee is gonna be blocking railroad left and right and just leveling the ground. This is also one of the things I would like to I would like to not make a mistake about, and I usually do. This is some of the flatter ground around here, and if I build a railroad through here, I might be causing long-term issues for us. I want to try to at least keep it somewhat to the edge of the hillside here, just so we have some kind of space for any buildings that we might build around here. So I'm going to be keeping them to around these levels. And then we can go all the way here. And this is... Okay, this is going to be fun, of course. It always is. It always is. You know how we roll. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to conquer these heights or ups and downs, how to conquer them properly. I do know that we can actually... There we go. This looks absolutely horrible, and I definitely disapprove of this, and I'm gonna be removing some of the railroad from here. Right. Let me see if I can do it maybe like this. This looks a little bit better, but like I said, this is all rudimentary, and it's fine. Even if it has multiple construction segments, it's gonna be fine. I think this one is gonna be so much fun to construct. But like I said previously, I think there's a possibility even them just flying through this without going back at all, because the trains building these railroads, they carry more materials than it's needed for them to finish the railroad. And then if the segment is done and that this segment of the railroad is not requiring a second build stage, they will continue straight away to the next one. So that's why we are building first. That's why we're building first the railroads with the prefab panels, and then we're gonna put electricity over them, and we will, mark my words, we will have electricity on these ones. Okay, so let's start with this iron city over here. I'm just gonna see how much, because I want to be right about this, how much work do these guys have. There's quite a few projects being built over here. You can see them even delivering materials and other stuff to some projects, but it's less than 20, so they have more space for more stuff. Of course, some of the projects are more important than others, and I would like them to finish this. You can see that coal, at least it's well distributed, and I'm really happy to see that. Okay, coffee time for me. And this one is a cold one. It's actually quite delicious, but it's cold. That's not my favorite thing. Anyway, but it's a good coffee. Right, so we have a couple of these. What's with these? Okay, they have some stuff delivered. This is, everything is delivered here. This only needs people to be finished, and a lot of steel. Of course, this is going to be a bottleneck for our foreseeable future, because steel is being, well, produced at like quite high pace, as you can see here. Oh, maybe I should do store this and store this, just so we have two different types of materials coming in. Yes. Steel might not be such a big of a... yes, of course it is. It's a big problem. Steel is a big problem. I wanted to... Jacques, I think Jacques posted something. I wanted to address him as well. He complained that I'm not listening to anybody, but that's not really true, especially when he gave me advice, and it was a really good advice, and even Stats gave me before that, that we should export some extra materials that we are producing. So I created this distribution office just for that purpose. So it would be exporting first, emptying all of this stuff that we have over here, and then emptying extra materials that we have stored over here. At the moment you can see that we are not at 100%. I don't know if this is even 90%. Are we getting more of these soon or not? Because I can't really see. This is where the workers should live, you know, when they're foreign workers. They probably just come to a country to finish a job and be done with it, not to have a permanent nice accommodation. It's just... especially in 1960s. Anyway, so this is what I set up at this distribution office, and there were 3 logger trucks that I actually reassigned here, because Stats, again, he was absolutely right about this, that logger trucks exporting these prefab panels, that wasn't the nicest sight ever. So what I'm gonna do now is get a couple of nicer trucks here, something more appropriate. That would be open hull trucks. We have these, they're really fast, a little bit lower capacity, but they're fast, 80 kilometers per hour. We have these ones that are even faster and a little bit bigger capacity. This is something I would like to have, but unfortunately our roads are just not built for that. And we have 2 options in this case, and both of them are, we have Skoda over here, and we have the V3S here. I'm leaning towards Skoda because it's the classic, it's vanilla. BC74SJ will be ecstatic us using vanilla stuff, so I think I'm gonna go for 2 of those initially. Just 2, because our initial plan is just to empty this storage, which is 45 tons and a little bit more of prefab panels. Just why the hell not? Let's earn a little bit money on that so we can destroy it in fashion, and I think that would be I think that's a nice thing to do. Why I'm using these trucks, I wanted to diversify a little bit. It's because of the border crossing. I don't want to use small trucks for the border crossings because it will cause issues in the future as well. So we will stick with these trucks for now. Škoda is the most efficient one. Of course, we had Urals, which are close to as efficient, but they were kind of having this wood setup thing, felled trees setup. Where in the hell are they? You can't find the Ural truck. We need one. There we go. How fast are they loading, actually? Not that fast. I expected that these guys with cranes would be loading this wood faster. I can tell you straight away that this doesn't seem faster. I don't know about you. Anyway, I was told about this, and there's like 2 trucks in the whole game that actually have cranes over their heads, and this is one of them, and this doesn't seem like they're loading this wood any faster than the trucks without cranes. We can try to measure that. I'm not really sure. Can we? I don't know. Where's the third one here? We have this one 3. Here. What is this one doing? This one is delivering. We can go and check them and measure them then later. Unfortunately, this one is full of wood. We don't even require them to do anything. Obviously, we're not using enough wood. Which brings us back to another thing that Mr. Stutz said as well, that we should have used a wood-burning heating plant rather than this one, coal-burning. I already addressed this issue several times, and I'm a coal guy, all in on that. I wouldn't want to be living anywhere close to those things, but definitely I think it fits this this era more coal than wood. Wood seems something that you would be used in 18th and 19th century, well, and then 19th and 20th century, coal all the way. Second World War, oil. But of course, coal would be used for lower functions like heating and power production, not for shipping, trucks, boats, shipping. Let's go with shipping. And then 20th century, 21st century, where I currently live. Hopefully, most of you guys watching this would be nuclear all the way. Just nuclear. I'm all in regarding nuclear power plant. I actually lived in one of the, well, partially it was irradiated off from Chernobyl, where I live, but hey, I'm still here, all 3 of my hands. Okay, so I'm not going to be building any semaphores over here. Obviously, they're not affecting each other. They're working fine, perfectly fine. They're finishing this tunnel. As I said, we finished the railroad all the way to the second city, Iron City. And now we can start on this one. Okay, let's try to get everything. I want everything close to each other. I want these mines close to each other. So what we're gonna need to construct first is the amenities that people are gonna need. That would be shops, that would be city council. I'm gonna skip that, but let's go from the beginning. We're gonna go for construction office, church, cinema. I'm gonna go with cinema first. So let's go with libraries, village club. We might have an issue with this. Let's go and finish this just so we have something. I'm hoping that this is going to be enough iron for the foreseeable future for us until we go and conquer the Central Valley over there. What I'm going to be building now is the next thing. I have no idea. All right, the same thing, the village club. We have a country club here. It's a little bit... Yeah, why the hell not? Why the hell not? Let's go and have some of these amenities around here. All right, of course. We can't build this because this is not finished, and we need steel for this one. A little bit steel, but still nevertheless. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait for that one. We're gonna have to wait for this to be, well, steel to be delivered. I can see that we're running out of steel even here. And this is the aspect of the game I have little knowledge about. How much steel your civilization actually consumes. I watched a lot of documentaries and still will really say that, you know, of course, one of the things, but the steel production is quite important in the world because steel is used everywhere. It's interesting, you know, you don't think about that until you start producing the steel, and when you see how much requirement there is for this, how much steel you need to produce, It's mind-boggling, at least for me it is. So I'm actually quite surprised. And yeah, I'm still learning how to cope with this, how to have the best. What the hell is this? How to calculate the best amount of steel that we need to have in this in any country, in any series that we make. So I will be interrupting this in two ways, because this is not an important project, and let them finish it from two sides. At least they can deliver from two sides. I think this is going to be fine. So they can start on this tower as well. These guys already have assigned everything. Actually, everything is delivered except the steel. So the current steel requirement, this would be a good statistic to know. For example, if we can find how much steel is required for to catch up with the all the construction that we're having. But I think it's almost impossible to calculate that, because some of the constructions are not even started and won't be started for a while, but still there is some kind of requirement for them. You're gonna need steel in the future for this, so it might be something a little bit hard for a game or developers to calculate. And why is this? Okay, so this one finished all the way to the bridge, and now they need bricks for this. Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with this. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. Right, so we have tunnel again, 1,000 days left to finish it. That should be fine. If we have properly supplied people, that would be 33 people, 1,000 days, that's 1/3, 30 days, is that correct? But of course they need to be working constantly on it, and it has several stages to finish. So, well, obviously this is not the final stage. There's a little more stone, and then steel and prefab panels. That would be railroad construction, gravel as well, and then for this one they require boards and bricks. So anyway, it's gonna be a while until we finish this tunnel over here. Okay, obviously we caught up with a lot of things around here, but again, main bottleneck is steel. I'm kind of thinking of starting the steel imports, because financially we don't have any issues with this. We are doing fine, and you can see that we actually not doing that fine, not doing as fine as I would like us to do. So let me see here. Okay, these guys are only delivering stuff. Any of you guys actually picking the cattle up? Yeah, you can see that we're creating some kind of bottlenecks from time to time here, but not that big of a problem. But let me see if this is a worker issue. Yeah, we can use a little bit more workers here. I will speed the things up a bit, so we can just catch up with the production and clear all these guys from the... This is not ideal. Probably I should send some guys, retire them at least for the harvest season until we have everything back on track. So we have this guy here. Let's send them to the storage. I might send another one as well. This one is delivering iron. That's fine. Do we have any of the cattle ones? This is the first one. I can wait for him to unload everything that he has, and then deal with him, send him to storage facility. Here we go, he's going there now. Okay, he is unloaded, exported everything. I'm gonna just put him in a mothballs, formalin bottle or something like that. Okay, all of this is working fine. The silos are getting filled properly. That's quite nice. Population. 1,300 workers. Is it just me, or we actually lost some workers? Oh, right, we transferred them to the other city. Yeah, so this is the reason why we have a little bit lower production at the moment. But we're gonna catch up. We have a healthy society over here, and hopefully we're gonna have much more working age people here. 1,300 here. Of course, we need to Statsovo over there and Galask over there are two cities that we have. Statsovo, of course, we don't have stats for the people. We can only check their needs over here. Electronics, pub, tavern, sports. Sports are being constructed. Of course, the steel is required for that. The other thing that they need is the pub, church, sports, culture. Culture is being finished as well. Again, steel. And pub, I would definitely like to give them pub, and probably I'm most certainly sure that eventually I will regret the decision of not having a kindergarten. So let's build a kindergarten that doesn't require Steel. That's probably the BC-74's worst nightmare. Non-concrete and non-steel kindergarten. Actually, it has concrete. I'm not sure if this is such a nightmare or not. I'm sorry. I'm just. This is a cheap shot on my side. I really don't mean anything negative about it. I like Mr. BC. Right, let's try to squeeze it in here next to our urban center, future urban center, where in my hometown in the 80s they started constructing proper residential buildings, and they constructed quite few of them. It's a small, my hometown is like 15,000 people, at least it was back in the day. It's much less now because many of us left. But my hometown had a golden age probably in the 80s, and a lot of buildings constructed there were extremely high quality, I would say, for the time. 1980s, I think in Yugoslavia they had extremely good construction industry, and they did construct a lot of nice buildings, thick walls, warm, little maintenance needed. They would be probably highly graded in today's time when they have this environmental grading of your houses and whatnot. And they're built quite few. They're like 10, 15 in the like less than a square kilometer area, and it's quite tastefully done. And also the new school, new kindergarten, and this kind of stuff was. I had both school was 50 meters from my building, and kindergarten was 100 meters from my building where I used to live. So it was quite. And the high school. That was a grade school or basic school, and then the high school in Yugoslavia. We went to those after age of 14, from 14 to 18. It was a high school, and there we had the. And that was 500 meters away. That was practically other side of the city. I had somebody take me there every time. I'm kidding. Right, so we have a little bit more space now here. Let me check the houses we emptied. You can see here any house missing any people. That would be the one that we actually emptied. I probably did a little bit of issue, a little bit of a problem over here. Oh. Let's take this to 5. Right, so you remember that I decided to export all of this stuff. Look like the guys are done. So what I'm gonna do here is demolish all of this, because we're gonna have, I don't know, we'll see what we're gonna have around here, but definitely something different. Now, like like you guys said that we should continue exporting, let's say over 80% of our production, we can go directly to source in this case. Of course, steel is not gonna be one of those things. Again, I'm not playing with hard mode rules. I'm playing. How the hell are they constructing this? I thought that they fixed this. I don't have any railroad going in the opposite direction. They're constructing this. How the hell is that possible? I thought that they fixed this when there was an issue with the game that when they come here they just start going in the opposite direction. Some weird voodoo that the construction vehicle does. But I thought they fixed that. Obviously not. I'm gonna pay attention and see how they're actually constructing this, because that's weird. Oh, right, he's going all the way here around and then going back to the to this railroad here. Oh, interesting. Sneaky. Kudos. Right, bridge. They came to bridge to be constructed. That's a quite low bridge. It's decent enough. I'm surprised. Oh, it's assigned, and they're not constructing it. That's strange. Okay, anyway, let them construct whatever they do. They're doing a fine job. Okay, what I was talking about, yes, exporting. So I'm gonna do here and tell them this. You're gonna go here, but like I said, source buildings will have to. Oh, right, it's loading. Okay, source buildings will have to be over 80%. I'll go 70. I'll go 70 because some of them won't have enough storage. Then we have this one here. This is a brick production. And then I'm gonna go even this one. This is a board production. So all 3 of those will be like this. So everything over 70. So it's gonna be like this. So hopefully you guys are not gonna be, too critical about this. But there you go. I just wanted to be sure about this. How am I presenting this? Sorry about that. Let me just make clear something regarding this. That would be Mr. Joshua Petit. Mr. Joshua Petit criticized me that I'm not listening to you guys and your suggestions, but I really did. I mean, like it's an honest mistake on your part. But exactly what you said, that we should do this. I did construct the distribution office and told them. This is a border crossing, so it doesn't have any. But I actually did this. This is the. Oh boy, it's autumn coming. How are we doing with the heating there? We might have an issue. But anyway, this is what I did. I constructed this distribution office. Currently we have 2 trucks delivering this, exporting. You can see here prefab panels being exported. Not a lot of money, but money nevertheless. We are oh boy. I don't think I should be exporting. If we're gonna go for realism, I should be exporting this prefab. No, we do. Okay, I thought we were importing cement, but no, we are actually constructing our building, making our own cement, so it's fine. So they can continue doing this, exporting over 80%. And since this is going to be a little bit more import, they need 20 times. They need to go to the border crossing 20 times to pay their own value of this truck, and they will do that. I'm worried a little bit about the border traffic, more so than than anything else. So this is why I'm not buying additional trucks. I might go for one more. 24, 25 times they need to go to the border crossing with prefab panels in order to export enough of those. Hopefully they're gonna diversify this with the boards and bricks. Fortunately they're not gonna do bricks anytime soon, because we don't have enough bricks for our own needs, so we're gonna stick to this one. And again, steel is being produced as much as we can here. One more. I'm sorry from me, and just wanted to go back to see how much time we have for the rest of this episode. It's 50 minutes, at least on the second segment that I'm recording this from the beginning. Usually I'll record the whole episode flat out. I don't do a lot of cuts like in Mod Mondays or any other video I make for these everyday things. It's just me, some grumpy guy. I don't think I'm that old, but some grumpy guy just pressing the. I'm not grumpy. I kind of think of myself as being like cheerful and wishful thinking guy towards everybody else, you know, quite smooth. I am a big guy. I used to play rugby and basketball, so take from that whatever you want. I was good in both of those sports, so take that how you want, but I'm not. I think I'm a nice guy as well. Anyway, let's not sell myself too much. Right, I can see that border crossings are becoming a little bit busier, so you can see that 3 Skoda trucks are actually on the border crossing, so this might be some kind of a limit that we can actually handle, so maybe for now, until we get our own iron, we should stick to this. First, let's see, are we catching up with any construction here? And what is your suggestion? Yeah, of course. They delivered 30 people to work on this one, and there's actually not enough steel here. Right, so what is your... Oh, they finished this conveyor system over here. This should have electricity as well, so now we can have our own... yeah, steel. Do you think we should start importing steel a little bit just so we can catch up with the construction? Actually, I think I'm gonna do this straight away on my own, and I'm gonna do this and say yes. What I'm gonna do here is unload and until 10% is full. What's the 10% here? Could be 10% of everything, that would be 100 tons of steel, or it could be 10% of this, which is 30 tons of steel. Both of those things are, well, interesting. Hopefully some of these trucks that are actually exporting these prefab panels and whatnot will actually bring back the steel, which I do have my own doubts about this. They might be just doing one stuff, and then the empty truck is gonna come to the border to pick up the steel. But I might be wrong though. Let's see. We have one of these guys. Okay, this guy is not loading anything, and I was hoping that he's gonna load the steel. This guy is not loading anything, and I hope that he's gonna load the steel straight away. You can see that they can't do anything else. And now he got a mission, a different mission. So we're gonna watch this Skoda over here. When he exits this one, and now he got an order for steel, which is, again, developers. Let's blame them in there. The low-hanging fruit here, we can always blame them. I'm kidding. I believe this is hard, but hopefully you see my issue here. He delivered prefab panels, unloaded prefab panels, went out from this, and then rejoined the queue to load the steel where he actually was over there. I believe this is not easy to implement in a game, but I believe our developers are gonna do amazing job, and they're doing amazing job anyway already. So I'm really happy with what they're doing, even though sometimes I have criticism about some projects that are being done, but I hope I'm entitled to criticism. I'm not really sure if I am, but I'm hoping that, constructive criticism is welcomed anywhere. At least on this channel definitely is. You can see that our construction is slowly progressing everywhere. The path is done. Path is done on both sides. We have this one here. I wanted to ask you what you think about importing steel, but I think I'm gonna just start importing steel anyway, because we really need that steel as soon as possible. When the second steel mill is done, and as soon as we are done with the iron town over here, I think I'm gonna go and stop importing steel. For now, let them have a little bit of fun. I have no idea what 10% of steel actually means. It could be a huge shock for us on the financial side, because every one of those trucks importing steel, they cost a lot of money. I don't have any one truck to actually show you this, guys. But for example, this one is carrying 1 ton of steel, 1.2, so 10 times more. It would be 8,000 rubles. 8,000? Wasn't it like 20,000 before? Yeah, it was 20, but because there were the 40-ton trucks. These are only 12-ton trucks, so they're gonna be having less value steel on there. But anyway, we are importing steel as well, so hopefully this is gonna speed up our development. Okay, this guy obviously doesn't want to deliver any steel. Let's see if this one's gonna do the dance. This one is going out. As soon as he's out of the building, bang, back in the queue. Oh, what fun it is to ride with Skoda 706. Right, so right, I wanted to do this as well. I wanted to sell this vehicle because we can't really reconnect it now because of the reasons. I'm gonna demolish this snow plow location. I'm gonna be removing all the mud roads from here, and I will be leaving everything else as it is. Do we want the cars? We want cars. We want cars all the way, because this is the fastest. What? This one has 27 kilometers per. How much is 66 kilowatts? Oh, this is unrealistic. There you go, BC74SJ. These tractors, 4-shit tractors, I used to play with them often in the farming simulator when I used to play. I love those. But 29 kilometers per hour plowing snow, while the strongest trucks we have, or at least most of our trucks that we have here, which much bigger engine power. I'm trying to teach myself not to use horsepower but kilowatts, because horsepower seems such a archaic way to see the cars, but it's quite traditional and embedded. So kilowatts, 160 kilowatts here and 66 kilowatts here. So this one is 2.5 times more powerful, and I will go with this one just because, we're rich, we don't care. Again, queues at the border. Hopefully that's not gonna be a long-lasting thing. Steel. We have some steel, 12 tons of steel here. So hopefully this is gonna boost our construction, rest of the infrastructure production or construction that we have here. So we need a little bit of steel here and there. That's nice. These pipelines, 20 tons. Oh boy, that's a problem. That's a problem. This is a big problem, actually. I think I did a good thing by actually importing steel, but I'm not really sure that that was in timely manner, because it might not be fast enough. We still might have issues with winter. I'm gonna have to monitor this winter if the heating plant is not done. I know even if these houses are self-heating, they still will have issues with the. They're still gonna have issues with the people going to work and working in cold conditions, they can still die. They can still get sick and die. So I think I'm gonna have to monitor this a little bit better in the future. What I'm gonna do here, just in case, I'm gonna get additional ambulance just because I like our people. I like them to have all the nice stuff and nice amenities. Fire truck here, we have it. People, 12 of them, perfect. So this is functioning nice. I wish you can prioritize some of the projects we have. Pipeline is not a problem. As soon as they have steel, I believe it's gonna be done in seconds. The heating plant over here is a problem. So, and this guy is probably delivering. No, he's going for fuel. Oh no, he's going for. Oh, he actually finished everything. Perfect. Okay, so this is the status of our country now. This is October, winter 1967-68. We have currently 3,070 people living in our country. Did I just drop a few people? Yeah, we're losing population for some reason. There we go, it goes up again. So we have 1,659 workers. Out of that, most of them are in our, well, current capital city, Galask. We can even keep it for a permanent capital city. You remember that we have 1,306 people over here. This is one of the reasons why I'm using the faster speed here, because again, being a person who uploads videos on a YouTube, not a YouTuber, I would be making these videos on a slow speed, and I would make hundreds of these videos without any, without making any progress, and that's a problem. What I need to be considered about also if it's entertaining for you guys and me guys as well, because I need to be satisfied with the work that I'm doing as well. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. I think, was it Julian who said this? I do apologize if it's somebody else, but why I installed these monitoring stations not in the middle of the city. It's to see the whole range of devastation or pollution that we have around our industrial zone. So I made it close to in the middle between industrial zone and population centers, just because I want to see the full range of this industrial impact. So here we have a heating plant that will have an impact on us. Where did I build this monitoring station over here? I totally forgot. Did I even build it here? I thought I did. Anyway, this is why I built this over here, so I can have the whole industrial zone or source of pollution covered, so I can see far how much is covered. I could have put one in the city center, and I think in this case it wouldn't be the worst decision ever. Yeah, I could have done that, but I also want to see how much further down is expanding the pollution. One other thing is the wind. Does it carry it in other directions? You can see the steel mill, for some reason there's more population towards the middle, but it could be because the small steel mill is not causing a lot of population, but combined with the processing plant and a mine is actually causing, so that's why in the middle of this industrial zone is the biggest pollution. Right, that's it. I'm gonna end it here. We're already at over hour, so I'm gonna leave it here. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, press the like button. If you didn't, leave a nasty comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, notification bell, ring it, comment section, hit it, let me know what you think, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Have a nice Monday, guys. Bye bye.